past few years, collective research has debunked the popular myths that a high-fiber diet lifestyle can cause unfinished housework, late dinners, and neglected family members. In fact, continuing studies show that a high-fiber diet lifestyle may significantly improve the disposition of a crafter, creating a more contented home life. Furthermore, continued exposure can develop an ability to endure meetings, waiting rooms, school functions, and sporting events without experiencing the kind of boredom it makes one want to consume lead paint. Here are just a few ways one can properly increase daily fiber intake. Visit your local yarn store or shop online. Join online fiber communities. Tour sheep or alpaca farms. Attend fiber festivals. Or listen to the High Fiber Diet podcast. Please remember to spread your fiber intake throughout the day rather than trying to get it all in one shot. Stretching and resting is important, and your body will thank you.
Hi, this is Cardigan, and welcome to the High Fiber Diet. This is Gandalf, and he has decided he wants to be a lap kitty for right now. So I'm going to go with that because he's very much not a lap kitty. And yeah, as soon as he wants to get down, he'll go down. Right now he likes scritches. But welcome to 2024. New year, same me, no resolutions. Oh, to resolve means that you are concrete and put it in iron, and I'm not that kind of person. I like to go with the flow. Do you want down now? Do you want down now? No, you're not getting on my desk. Okay. So, haven't seen you since last year. Yeah, that happens. But I have some finished objects. I have some frogs, and I have some whips, and I have some things I haven't touched. So let's go into accountability. My finished object, I had started on Christmas, and that was my Christmas cast on. And I have two of them. And I have two sock blockers from Hornshaw Woodworks. And I love my sock blockers. I have every size, and I use them. But this is my size. I wear a size 10 women's, and so this fits the large foot. And they hang when you want to dry your socks. And these are socks out of Ice Frost, and the colorway, I looked up the colorway names, and this is frozen water, so ice. And all I did was a top down, heel turn, slip stitch cuff, rounded toe. Nothing fancy. But I did get them done on New Year's Day, so it took me a week to make them, and that was with knitting other things too. So I enjoyed that. That is my finished object. And again, that was out of Opal, Frosty Ice, in the colorway Frozen Water. I think that's my only finished object this week. Yeah. I have some cheese and crackers there that I was having for lunch. We'll see if I have some later. Let's see, where do I want to go? Let's go frogged first. Yep. So that's not one. Where'd I put them? Where'd I put the frog stuff? Right back here. Okay, in my baby animals bag, I had my brickless, and my brickless is getting frogged. I just haven't wanted to work on it. I knit one a long time ago. I wanted another one. It's just not the right time. So this one, off the needles, and this is out of Malabrigo, and I have another skein of this. And I think instead I am going to make from blocked book 12. It's the free online knitting pattern book. There is the Enchanted Vine, and I'll see about putting a picture up here. It's by Karen Woolley, and as you can see, it is crocheted, and it's got a start at the beginning, make it bigger, or make it bigger, come down to the end. I'm not sure which way. Most of them just, start small and go bigger. And it's got a lace panel, and my sister looked at that and she's like, I so want that. And that is the sister that didn't say anything about the rent shawl. So I am going to pull this out and I will ball it back up. Don't you love it when somebody calls and it's a telemarketer and you don't want to deal with it? Yeah. I do have the little thing that says it, but it says it on my phone and I couldn't see my phone while I was doing this. But I continue to wind this up. I'm going to start this, let's see, the Enchanted Vine by Karen Woolley Designs. And seems like a pretty straightforward crochet. It does say that it wants fingering weight. This is DK. I'm going to just go ahead and use 2 skeins of DK. Make it as big as I make it, and that's that. Because I have the yarn and I'm working out a stash this year. So as I pull this out, I can finish it up later. I have about that much more to pull out, and then I'm going to start this probably tomorrow. So that is my first frog and the intentions that are going to go with this. So my needles can go back into my needle case, and this will get a crochet hook. It does call for a size E, but that's on a fingering, so I will probably use an H or an I with this. So that's number 1. Number 2, well, that's an empty bag, ready to have something put in it. Number 3, I was working. Oh, these are very old and I need to frog these. I think we've talked about this. These are those socks. And what's surprising is it's the same sister. This has been pulled out. I just haven't wound it up and gotten it into a cake yet. So that one needs to go. This one, on the other hand, in my Cozy Sky, right? Yep, Cozy Sky Co. bee bag. I had started a puppy dog sweater for my daughter's little chihuahua. I hate this yarn. This yarn is getting balled up, and this yarn is either going to be burned or it's going to Goodwill. Not sure which. Not knitting with this. No. So this is coming off the needles. Life is just too short, and I will get something that I like and make it out of that, that's still washable, that doesn't hurt my hands. So needles go in the bin and yarn will go away. I don't even think I'm ripping that out. Finally, in my hippo bag, oops, I had Brambles for Boo, and I don't want to make Brambles for Boo. I mean, I want to make Brambles for Boo. I just don't want to make it right now. And so this is getting pulled out. These are on my, is it a day and night needles from Knitter's Pride, and yeah, these are the ones that are both dark and light, and I just don't want to make it right now. And I have to be honest with what I want to make and what I don't want to make, because I'm not going to force myself to make something I don't want to make. This is my time. Work time, I do a lot of things, and I've gotten some stuff up for, work when you're doing Zoom meetings and stuff. But I want to work on what I want to work on, and it's my hobby, so I want to be happy. So this goes into my needle bin, and that will get put away. And this is already ripped out. Ta-da! So those are my frogged that I'm doing. I've only put a little bit in my works in progress. I have only put a little bit in on my grand opening shawl. I have moved all the stitches off onto a cord, and I've picked back up the next one. And if I say I'm not in love, do you understand? I think it just needs time out for a little bit. This next stitch pattern, I don't know. It's there. I'm not as excited about this as I am about this, which is the sweater. And so I think I just want to continue on with the sweater and move forward as I can with this, get this done, and then we'll see if I come back to this or not. I'm not locked into it. This one, I want this. So this is the Easy Eyelet Yoke Light. This is the grand opening shawl. The yarn on both are the I'm Dreaming of a Pink Christmas from Suburban Stitcher. It was my Advent this year, and of course, new job and everything else, I didn't get to knit as much as I wanted during Advent, but I will get it done. I think it took me until April last year to finish the shawl that I did. So, you know, the tortoise wins the race, right? So those are 2 work in progress that I have. Whoops, man down. I guess we'll talk about that next. Man down. So in the bag that Lori sent to me from Stitched by Jessalou, love my squirrels. I started another pair of socks. This is my sampler socks, and I'm not doing it off any pattern. I cast on and did 4 rows of stockinette, and then I did 10 rows of ribbing, and then 10 rows of stockinette and 10 rows of double moss stitch, and now I'm into 10 rows of stockinette, and I'm not sure what's going to go next. And then it will go into some stockinette and go into the heel flap turn. And this is again in the Frosty Ice from Opal, and this one's colorway is Frozen Mountain Lake, and that is what it's supposed to end up looking like. And because of my changes in stitch pattern, it's not exactly coming out that way, but you can still kind of see it. And yeah, I am knitting these up on Crystal Palace size 3 needles, and these are the wooden needles that I love. If I'm gonna do wood, I do Crystal Palace or I do Lantern Moon. Those are my preferred DPNs. So that is another pair of socks going. I want to get some boot socks off. I want to knit up all the boot socks that I had. So I have a couple pairs of that going. I also, talking about boot socks, I'm doing Sweet Mountain yarns. And this is in her Sheep Moth. Oh my gosh, look up sheep moth. It is just, let's see, maybe I'll put a picture up here of a sheep moth. No, I don't like moths, but the colors that she did on this is just about exact to what that was. And then there's a black or dark gray. Whoops, that's not good. Dark gray mini that goes with it. And I have started another pair of boot socks. These are DK, and this is in her adventure socks, and I stopped getting this set because we've backed off on all of our subscriptions that we have right now. And I did one row of knit before I went into the ribbing on this, and then I'm just doing stockinette down to the heel. And these I am doing on the Knitter's Pride Mindful, and these are on a US 4 or 3.5. And I do prefer DPNs. If you're new here, welcome. I am a DPN user. I do not do magic loop unless I absolutely have to. And normally when I do magic loop, it's a traveling loop instead of a magic loop, so no 2 bunny ears. And this is in my Fates threads, I think. Yes, Fates thread. And this is in my Serenity or Firefly bag. It has Serenity on the zipper pool, and then Captain Hot Pants and all the rest of them, Jane hat included. Love the show, still watch it. I think we watched it on New Year's Day, so yeah, that's just us. So that's another pair of socks I have going. And then in this bag that was made by Bling Your String, it's a coffee bag, I have my cashmere sweater that was supposed to be my Christmas sweater that didn't work out to my Christmas sweater. I ripped back, so you can see that it's cut off from the big ball of cashmere. And oh my gosh, aren't these cute? These came from Amazon in a pack of 10. Instead of having to buy them as needle minders or needle end stoppers, they're beads. They're a push through bead that can be used on things, and they work perfectly. And these elephants or huffalumps, or however you want to call them, are just adorable. But after putting this in timeout during the Advent season, I kind of looked at it and went, I don't like how it fits right at my armpit. Even with stretching, it was maybe going to give me this much longer. So I ripped back the 2 inches I had underneath and ripped out the arm and said, I'm going to put another inch of raglan. So I'm not increasing. I mean, it goes around me just fine, but I'm going to put another inch of raglan, which is another 4 increases, 8 rows. And that's what I'm doing for this. I've already put in my short rows in the back. That was a little bit different. And it's just what I want to do to make the pattern what I want the pattern to be. I did not put the short rows in the front. That's where I was going with the pattern that I changed. And I also do it a little bit different down here to where it looks, other than, you know, well, yeah, it looks pretty much asymmetrical to what's on top. And this is done out of a cashmere that I got from Temu. And I have enough yarn to do it. I don't know if I have enough for a long sleeve or not, but I'm hoping if I have a 3/4 length or, you know, even a short sleeve, I'll be happy with it. Very happy. So I am slowly working on that. I ripped it back yesterday, got everything put back on the needles, and got that going again. I put 2 rows on it so far. So that is in that bag. That one I haven't touched at all. This is the Opal Mini Bon granny stripe blanket that I'm doing. I haven't touched this at all. It has just sat back there all week. Just looking nice and skunky right there. I did pull out, though I haven't worked on it, I did find it and pull it out because I'm going to, which is that is this Big Sister? I can't remember. I'll try and put the name down if I can remember to do so. But this sweater I need to get going on and get it done. It's a cotton blend sweater, and I have all the yarn over here for it, and I just need to get going on it. I do have from Cozy Sky the needle stoppers that are gnomes. Love them. And I need to get this worked on. Way too many whips. I like have squirrel brain, I swear. Squirrel brain. I'm just grabbing one every day and going, okay, this is what I'm working on right now. So, as we go, I did start, I don't know that I talked about this last time. No, I think I have 2 new starts other than socks. What is the name of this? I don't want to give the wrong name. Magnus Cardigan. Maybe I talked about this. I don't think so, though. I don't know. Maybe. I am doing it out of Karen Yarn Halo. Excuse me. And Woolies in raspberry. Oh, Rose Heather. And the Karen Yarn is in Rose Garden. And you need a contrasting pull on that. And it is crocheted. And it is the box stitch. And I have a lot of ends, both ends. Because this changing color only goes in one direction, and then this color only goes in the other direction, so you don't go back and forth and back and forth. So you're going whoop and whoop and whoop and whoop, and so you have 2 ends for every row. Yeah, it'll work out. But I am loving the way the color is progressing, and it will go into the blues, and then I have another skein of it that will go blues to the pink again. And I have another skein, which will be arms, and hopefully we will do that. So right now, this is a paid for pattern, but I'm in this until I think I have 41 or 42 repeats for my size. And yeah, so that's where I am on that. And I'm kind of loving it. This crochet, knit, crochet, knit, crochet, knit. Now I haven't spun anything because during the 12 days of Christmas you don't spin. Tomorrow is 12th night. Well, tonight is 12th night, my daughter's birthday, and tomorrow is St. Distaff's Day, so I will pick up spinning tomorrow. So the last thing that I have on my needles is a rent shawl. I think I talked about this, and my sister said washable, so I had some brown Bravo or Brava from Knit Picks, and I have enough to do a full sweater, so I know I have enough for this shawl. And she wanted cream and black, so the cream I am going to use is Bernay Bundle Up, and that will be one of the bottom stripes. And then the black, I'm not quite sure which black I have, but I have a couple different that I can pull from, and then that'll be the final rounds. And the patterns that I found online, free or not free, I didn't care for. I know I have a book somewhere. I can't find it on my bookshelf, so it's probably still in a box somewhere marked books that I just haven't gotten around to. So I kind of looked at it and I went, this is how I'm going to do it. Yeah, no pattern. So I cast on 4 stitches and was slip stitching the first I did a short row pickup for a garter band, and then went back and picked up all the short rows, and still slipping the outside. What I'm doing is slip one on the front side, slip one, knit three, knit front and back, knit across, knit front and back, knit the middle stitch, knit front and back, knit across, knit front and back, and then I'm going to knit all four on this end, and then on the other side I just slip one and knit across. And so there's 4 increases. It's going to be more triangular than what my last shawl was, which was more butterfly shape, where it was longer. Or how do they call that? Faroe, like the Faroe Island shawls. Hap. I mean, I've heard it all sorts of different ways. But this one, from what I'm seeing in the pictures, it's more triangular than it is long triangular. So it's a short actual triangle kind of thing. And I think that's how I'm going to make this up. And we'll see if she likes it. She kind of said she didn't want it to wrap around her because she's built like me and the haps don't always look great. But she said maybe a button on the front. And I'm thinking, instead of a button, why don't I get her one of those jewel screw clasps, so she can do a Chicago screw on it, so she can put it in wherever she wants it, and then she can button it up however she wants without having a set place to have it buttoned. And that's what I think we're going to do. So I have this much done. I am working on a size, I think this is a 9. Yes, size 9 Chiagu. And I have that going, and this is in a bag from, I think this is this is Quilted by Jackie Tremblay bag. I love it. I think it was a swap bag. I love this bag. And yeah, I honestly think that's what I've got on my needles and hooks right now. The last week has been interesting. We've been deciding to take our finances into consideration, and we had talked about it a little while ago, and we knew Sarge is retiring, so some of that money's going away. You always get a little bit less, and we know that he might be going back to a civilian job, and I'm at my job, but it's like we moved. When you move twice in 2 years and 3 months, I think it was, you have a little bit of a buildup of things that you need to get rid of, but you also have a buildup of expenses that had happened. And so this year is going to be paying down debt, whether it be the standard debt that we have, but also the credit card debt that, thank God, we had them to be able to move back. But we don't like being indebted. And we're not going to be making massive purchases unless we absolutely have to for this next year. We're not, hurting, but we don't like where we are. And so we sat down and had a heart-to-heart, and we always decide, because anything, we have had this rule forever, anything over $100 we discuss with each other. And any job move, anything, that's who we are. We're partners. We're not, yeah, he's my husband, yes, I'm his wife, but we're life partners. And so we have to make these decisions together, and we don't just go spend willy-nilly. It stops a lot of fighting, and it also makes it so that we're happy, we're in the know, neither one of us are controlling each other, but we're also allowing things to progress as needed. And so we had the heart-to-heart, and this is what we have to do. So I'm looking at things going, I don't really have to sell, but I want to minimalize. And I'm thinking about getting rid of 2 of my spinning wheels and some of my spindles and a bunch of my yarn, just because I don't have room anymore. I don't have need. I have found that in the last 5 years, I don't go to these items. I don't pull out these items. And when looking at my yarn, it's analysis paralysis. I have so much that I can't say, what do I want to work on next? Right now, my goal is frogging or finishing. Yeah, I'm going to start as I want, like I did with that Magnus cardigan, as I did with that rent sweater that I know my sister wants. I know I'm going to make the doggy sweater for Boo because she wants the doggy sweater for her old dog. And I want to get that done, but I want to do it in something that I want to knit on or I want to crochet on. And so all these things coming together, it's just a lot of decisions. And at the beginning of the year, you've just come out of holiday hell. And today is 12th night. And, it's the beginning of a new year for us. Where do we want to be next year? And so when we sat down and we talked about it, we're going to move forward with our plan. I'm not going to stop this. This is fun for me. Knitting's fun for me. I love it. I'm not giving up certain things in my life. Like I'm not giving up my massage. I need that for my body every once in a while. I don't do it every week. I am giving up my nails. So these are mine now. It's up to me to take care of them. I'm no longer going in for those. I will get a pedi once a month because with my back and my knees, I can't bring my feet up to take care of them. So that's going to be an expense that I'm keeping. My housekeeper. Again, my back and my knees. I can't scrub the floors. I'm going to pay somebody else to do that so my house is clean. My craft room is never super clean. My office always has a messy desk. That's just who I am, and I work best in that environment, weirdly enough. But there's a lot that can be done outside that I need some help with. And Sarge can do so much, and if he's working, he can't do so much. So these are expensive. We're not getting rid of. Other expenses, eating out once a week, we're going to move it to once a month. It'll be a treat for us. I'll cook more in-house. We're getting rid of the gym. We're going to the local right here in our community. There's a gym up front. We can do that. Just reduce and use what we need. And then our main goal, like I said, is getting rid of debt. So pay down as we can. Not really doing a Dave Ramsey type thing, but I know that the best way to do it is pay off the one that can be paid off quickest and with the highest rate, and get that paid off, and then move on. Whatever you are paying on that one, apply it to something else so that you know what your budget is, and always pay yourself first. So put your stuff in savings so that you have it. And thankfully we do, and we can rely on that until we know what the actual amounts of everything coming in, his paychecks, my paychecks, everything else, until we know exactly what those are and we can budget out. And it's going to take about 3 to 4 months to know, exactly what the bills are, and exactly, because we've only been here since mid-July. Was it mid-July? Wow, it was the end of July when we moved here. So it hasn't even been 6 months. In that 6 months, I started working, I stopped working, I started working somewhere else. It's just been a grand plan. Sarge has had this, that, and the other done. We've both had physical therapy because of things. I am much better on my arm. I'm not 100%, but the insurance won't pay for any more physical therapy, so they gave me exercises that I can do at home and within the gym and get that taken care of. But it's going to be a little bit of a change for both of us. And just, me working from home has been a huge change. And he's used to me being gone 10 hours a day, to I was home all the time, to I was gone 8 hours a day, to I'm home 80% of the time. I do have to go into the office at times, but most of my work is done at home. And that means that I'm making breakfast, lunch, and dinner at home. I'm not eating out, so that's good. We're not wasting the money on gas or car upkeep, even though I'm doing oil change right now. You still do those things. I can reduce down my insurance because I'm not driving as much. I used to drive an hour to work. I don't anymore, and that was an hour one way. And so, I mean, there's a lot of changes that are going on, just like there are in your house, where every, beginning of the year, you're looking at it going, what am I doing? And of course, we all have our word of the year, and I said mine last time, but it's being flexible and being able to understand that the household comes first. We always have this thing in our house that is one hand for yourself and one hand for the house, and the house comes first. That means the house is always taken care of. You always have a home, a roof, the bills, everything that comes first. And then you go into the wants or the needs. So for us, it's the house, the needs, the wants, and the wants can be put away. I saw something the other day that I really, really want, and instead of going and just putting it on a credit card, which I could have, I put it on my birthday list. And so hopefully for this year, if I get it, I'll talk about it then. But if I don't, it's something that I can save up for, and it can be a goal. The other thing we're working on here is, just like every first of the year, but this is something we've been really pushing towards, is getting me back on my bariatric diet and getting back on the lifestyle that we need to be. So regardless of just the gym, but also the food. So 60 grams of protein, 64 ounces of water, movement at least 30 minutes every day. It doesn't have to be hard movement. It can be walking, it can be on the treadmill, it can be lifting weights, it can be just 30 minutes a day. And we're slowly working into that. We also joined, I saw that Melissa had put out a thing where she had this color chart that had every day of the year in the shape of the months. And so there's like January, and it's got 3 on the J and whatever, and you're coloring it in. And it was 365 are the amount of color-ins that there are, or 366 this year, because we're in a leap year. And it's a mile a day. And I'm like, okay, there are some days that I can't walk a mile because I'm doing this, that, or the other, or my back isn't working. But on the days I can, maybe I can walk 2 miles. And so I want to do 365 miles this year. I've done 2 so far. Today is the 5th. So I have 3 to make up. I can do that. They're just little goals for the year. What are your goals for this year? Do you have any changes? Of course, ours is out of debt, which it'll probably take about 2 years if we do everything correctly. Out of debt, and then healthier. And those are our goals. We both want to get more mobile. We both want to get back to the eating habits that we had. And the other, along with the no buying, no, I'm not going to say no buying. I'm going to say low buying. Because, you got to treat yourself every once in a while, but we're getting rid of subscription stuff. So we haven't watched Netflix in a while. We're going to cancel that for a little bit. We have Paramount, and that's on our Amazon Prime. Since I shop off Amazon Prime, it's easy to do that, and it's not that expensive. I did go ahead and get the Tucker Carlson Network, and we have the great, what is it called? I don't want to give you the wrong name to it. Instead of the Hallmark Channel, we got, well, we have Daily Wire, but that's not what I was looking for. Great American Pure Flicks. And so that's what we decided for our purchases. We did a whole year of the Tucker Carlson, and we did a whole year of Great American. And just make it easy on us. We won't get rid of Paramount on Amazon because Sarge is a huge Trekkie, and so we'll be doing Trek there. And yeah, other than YouTube, and I do pay for the premium on YouTube because I don't like getting accosted by ads. And so we do the family on that. So that's one thing that we did keep. But other things like I was in a couple yarn or fiber clubs, those got canceled. I was in my Smartass and Sass club, that got canceled. Sarge's, he had the Reel and Gun club that he got canceled. So it's not just me. I mean, we had certain things that, we would do this, that, and the other. And we've just decided to cut back on everything. And I'm feeling like a weight has lifted because we now have a plan. I don't have to stress about it anymore. It's, everything will fall in place as it falls in place. So, yeah. So, are you reading The Whodunit? Two sisters and some yarn. Little sis Amy has written a murder mystery that we are knitting anything you want to go along with it. There's some certain parameters to get extra points, but at this point, just knitting is fine, or crocheting or making of any kinds. But we have a week 2 clue here on the high fiber diet. So the clue for this time from me, now the clue could be a good clue or it can be a red herring clue. So my clue is, as in red, Roll Tide. Yeah, what do you think of that? Have you read it? Have you put in on your document how much you're putting in and who you think it is? Yeah, that's your clue this week. So we'll see what next week has to bring. And that clue doesn't come out until next week. So you're going to have to read number 2 in order to get into it and find out what that means. I don't even know what that means. And I'm reading along. Oh, it's a good story. Yeah, it's going to have twists and turns because I know the way Amy thinks, but I don't really know the way Amy thinks. So we'll see. But until next time, check your checkbook before starting the high fiber diet.